Have you been wondering whether it's worthwhile to buy an older home in an established neighborhood or go with a new construction home? Here's some things to think about if you're weighing these two. I'm Chris Mullenberg, founder of the Mullenberg team at eXp Realty. I'm actually here in City Park in Fort Collins where I'm surrounded by older homes. So I'm curious, have you considered living in town in an older home? Might need some more work, might need some more updating, or you're like, hey, let's just go with the easy button, new construction, everything's shiny and new. Well, there's actually some things you got to consider about these older homes and neighborhoods that you might be missing. First off, at least in towns like Fort Collins, appreciation is stronger in the older home established neighborhoods. So, often you're paying top dollar for a new build in a suburban neighborhood. There's lots of construction going on. So you're paying for all these upgrades at closing, etc. And then the appreciation, it's still there, but it's not quite as quick as appreciation in older home and established neighborhoods. One of the main reasons that older homes do seem to appreciate more is that their location is in towns like Fort Collins. Again, you're close to parks, trails, downtown, schools, really established schools in the area. So people are typically more willing to pay for things like that in town versus being just another cookie cutter home in a subdivision, kind of on the periphery or outside of town. Another thing that keeps buyer demand strong in town with established neighborhoods is the eclectic vibe, right? There's just more going on. Every home's a little bit different, and people often like that vibe. Now, some people are going to opt for new build and new construction, and they want the neighborhood pool and park and things like that. That's awesome. But you and I both know that lots of people really value the eclectic neighborhoods where every home's a little bit different, everything's got character, and just there's big mature trees and you've got shade, and it's just got a more homey feel a lot of times than the newer subdivisions. I know this sounds like a very grandpa or dad thing to say, but the older homes are often better built, right? If you ever walked through a newer home and just felt like, wow, it's just a little flimsier, I can hear creaks, the walls seem thinner, the doors are thin. Yeah, a lot of the new construction, depending on price point, is not the same quality of construction as what was being built in the middle of the 1900s or earlier. So just give that some thought. I mean, there is something to be said about a home that can withstand the test of time, well built, brick, etc. Maybe listen to the wisdom of dad and grandpa on this one. So again, if you are equity and appreciation minded, you might like an older home because much more opportunity to build sweat equity, right? If you move into a brand new home or a newer home, there's not really a whole lot of upside for you doing a lot of work or updates. But in a home that could use some updating, then you get to be the one that benefits in future value as you update the home while you're living there, you're making repairs, and you're bringing it up to today's standards. You will then realize that when you're either ready to sell or rent it down the road, you're going to have a much better asset, that you are the one that gets the benefit of all that work. Final thing to consider with an older home is that oftentimes you have no HOA or a very limited HOA. So you've got a lot more freedom for doing updates on your home, parking, a trailer or a boat or a camper, etc. So lots of upside here, and buyers do value that because in today's new build world, a lot of these are in HOAs with high fees, metro tax districts, and you about can't do anything without the HOA calling you out on it. So, oh, well, your trash can was outside for 3 hours too long, you're getting a notice. Not everybody wants to live that way. So if any of this is resonating for you, we've got a collection of non-new homes in northern Colorado that have awesome opportunity for you to build equity, build appreciation, and just really live in a neighborhood with more character. So would love to talk you through that. If you're afraid of doing fix up and remodel and doing all that stuff, that's what we're here for. We have our in-house handyman team, Home Prep LLC, who's here to help our clients realize that sweat equity without you having to do all the work. So I'd love to run the numbers on that with you on some homes that we have in our pipeline right now. So give a comment on the video or shoot us a note, and we'll look forward to talking with you soon.